Hey guys, welcome back. It's episode 2 of a series where I try to help you create from home better by giving you certain tips to elevate your videos production value. So in this episode, I'm going to be showing you one of the most overlooked aspects of film and video making, and this little tip can totally elevate your video's production value. So the easiest way to up your production value without having the latest camera or like the latest drone or sliders or anything like that is by mastering sound design. So this week I created another mundane, or chose another mundane subject, which was breakfast, and I created a sequence and I created the sound design so that I could show you how it elevates your production value. So in the first video, it's going to be the normal video with the sound design, then a second version with no sound design, and then I'll break down the elements and play you another video with the visuals and just the sound design so you can understand what goes into it and how it can help you create better from home and in the future. So as you can see from the two versions of the video, one version of the video is a lot more engaging and it's a lot more interesting to watch because of the sounds that I've put with the visuals, right? So sound design, basically the theory behind sound design is that if you can see it, you need to be able to hear it as well. So whatever visual makes a sound in real life needs to make a sound in your video. It helps to bring it to life or enhance that visual. So here's an example with the milk, right? So pouring the milk into the cereal bowl, the regular sound or with no sound, it's not that interesting. It's really just milk being poured into a cereal bowl. But now I added my own sounds in there and kind of tweaked the sound a little bit to make it sound a little more epic. So now when you're watching this milk going in there, it's a lot more engaging and you really feel like you're really watching this milk being poured into the cereal bowl. Just adds so much epicness to the visual. So in sound design, you break sounds up into different categories. So the particular ones I used in this video are hyper-realistic and realistic. So that milk being poured is a hyper-realistic sound. It means it's not the actual sound that was being made, it was a recreated sound. The normal sound is not that interesting. An example of another hyper-realistic is punches in movies. A punch in real life doesn't sound like push or boom, all those kind of things. It's really like it almost sounds like a slap, but you create or they make sounds of something else to sell that visual that this punch was so effective. And then realistic sound. So realistic sound would be the ambient sound. It's just like the general sound of a room or like the general sound of a city. So what I didn't tell you before is if you really want to understand or hear the sounds that I put in, you should probably crank up your volume or put earphones or headphones in. So if you listen to that first version of the video, you'll hear that there's like, it sounds like a house. So you'll hear like a TV in the background and like a little bit of chatter and like all that stuff and whatever. It really helps to sell the idea or the visuals that you're presenting to someone, so they really feel like they're in that place and they're with you in that moment. It really engages people. Now, it's not the easiest thing to master. It literally just takes practice. And the easiest way for you to recreate sounds yourself, if you don't have like a subscription to these sound effect banks, is to create your sounds yourself. So whilst you're creating at home, there's an app called InShot. So with InShot, you're allowed to, or you're able to put the video clip at the bottom and literally record specific sounds for specific visuals that you're seeing. So same as the milk being poured in, you could go to a tap and the place where the milk is being poured in, you open the tap and it will record the visual in that exact same place. And obviously as you get better, you'll learn to use different sounds to sell your story and different ways to tweak the sounds to make it more realistic or more effective. But it's very important as well to note that the better your sound design is, the less noticeable it is. So the better you get, the more invisible your sound design becomes. So like the professionals that do like blockbuster movies and stuff, you've never watched a movie and been like, oh, that's an odd sound. You're literally just watching it and you don't even notice that these certain sounds are being added because it's done so well. So the subtlety is really important. So good luck with your projects and tag me in any projects that you do use any of these tips, and feel free to ask any questions. Episode 3 is going to be a more in-depth look into my process where I'll break down the beginning of my process, music selection, some cuts and editing that I do, and blah, blah, blah. See you in the next one.